Hello and welcome to another step-by-step how to tie tutorial video. This is the Peacock Stimulator. This is tied on a size 10 Mustad number 79580 hook. This is a 4x long streamer hook. For a tying thread, I'm using a black waxed thread. The tail on there is black Goose Biot. The inner portion of the body is Peacock Herl. And the hackle is a dyed black hackle. So let's go ahead and remove our sample and secure our hook. And like all good flies, it begins but with a single wrap of thread, but on this one I'm going to pay out quite a bit of thread. And we'll cast that on and we'll tie this in all the way to the bend of the hook. Okay, we'll set that extra thread off to the side. We'll use that later for a counter ribbing. We'll go ahead and get our Biot cut off of the stem. We can go ahead and set one off to the side, and on the near side, which I'm going to tie first, I'm going to have it curving out. I'm going to set that on the side and measure that out to length. And when I do my securing wraps, I'm pulling towards myself and away from myself. I'm going to go over a couple of times, take my thread forward, another wrap, I'm going to go under and over. Back to that starting point, and we'll do the far side. Line up our tips for our length, and we will secure this. Beautiful. Once again, back to the bend of the hook, where we'll tie in 5 strands of peacock herl by the tips. Once we have those secured, we can go ahead and just break those tips off. They're pretty fragile. Once you have enough wraps on it, that's not going to go anywhere. Advance our thread forward to the eye of the hook, and we will palmer on our peacock herl. We'll go for a nice, even, consistent base layer. Being the 4x long shank hook, having the 5 strands seems to work out the best. Continue this all the way up to our thread, where we'll secure that off with a couple of locking wraps. And we can trim off our waist. I have 2 hackle feathers. I'm going to line the tips up on those. Work my way down the stem a little bit. I'm going to trim these to length and give the stems a little buzz cut, a little high and tight. We'll tie our hackle feathers in at the front, and we'll palmer them to the rear. Nice even wraps from front to back. This will give us a nice, thick and consistent hackle that we can trim off. Okay, once we get to the bend of the hook, we can take our tying thread and we can do some securing wraps of the hackle on the back side. And we'll continue wrapping the thread forward, securing that hackle down. Don't have too much trouble with this hackle because it's nice and long. And I'm keeping the ribbing pretty closely spaced. Okay, once I get up to the head, I'll come in and do a whip finish with the ribbing. Secure that. And we'll just trim that thread to get that out of the way. And we'll come back with our tying thread. We'll secure everything down, building up a small head in the front. Once again, we'll give this a 1, 2, 3 whip finish. 1, 2, 3. Alright, trim off our tying thread. We'll come into our tips of our feathers, our hackles. We'll trim those off. And now to build the tapered shape of the body, do a couple initial rough cuts. That'll be our first trim, and then we'll come back here a second time and bring everything down just a little bit more. Get a nice even taper. I guess because we are trimming hackle feathers, you don't need a barber's license. And we have some the longer ones hanging out in the back. Get that all cleaned up. One last check with the brush. Make sure we don't have any super long strays. A nice even taper from back to the front. Alright, that is the Peacock Stimulator size 10. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe. A happy tying, and with this one, tight lines.